Two bears, one cave. One thing I learned about you just before we rolled today, I cannot believe that you were in a fraternity.
I was in a fraternity, yeah.
It doesn't add up to me. Like Bert Kreischer, I'm like, yeah,
but
I get it.
We went to very different schools. Like Florida State fraternity was way different than a Tulane University fraternity. Like there were only like 8 at the time. I think there's like 5 now. I mean,
at Tulane?
Yeah. They kept getting kicked off because you're in New Orleans. You don't need a fraternity.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you just went to bars all the time. Even in a fraternity, we went to bars all the time. But like my freshman year, my first semester freshman year, I had friends who we lived on like a co-ed floor. Mm-hmm. We all became good friends. And 2 of my friends were like very gregarious and would go out and meet people. And they got like early bids into a fraternity, this fraternity called ATL. And they're like, yeah, these guys are like the crazy ones. They're like not like, they don't do like the normal like formals and stuff. They're just like the idiots, like Animal House. And that rang a bell in my head. I was like, I loved Animal House. So one night, me and one of my other friends drank like an entire bottle of whiskey, like pre-gaming, and then could not go out. We like couldn't walk. So our friends just took us down the street and just opened up the fraternity house. They had the code because they'd already been let in, and just threw us on the couches. And we pass out for hours. We wake up, don't know where we are, destroy the house. Flip couches, tearing things off the wall, throwing things everywhere. And then we went back to sleep. So the fraternity guys come home at like 3 a.m. and are like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And they loved it. So for the night, they're like, you guys are awesome. Like, you guys are crazy. And we spent the night breaking into other fraternity houses, like tearing shit up. And then they just loved us for the rest of the year. And in the next semester, when it was supposed to be like, that's when you actually rush and do everything.
Yeah.
My grades were so bad. My parents were like, you were not going into a fraternity. So I had to like sneak under the radar and do it. And I hated pledging so much.
Yeah.
Being a pledge and like all these guys being mean to me. And at the end, they're like, we're brothers now. And I'm like, I hate you all.
Yeah.
And so for like the next 3 years, I never paid dues. I never came around. Like I lived next door to the frat house my senior year and never was there.
So you didn't really participate?
Friends. No. But my best friend to this day, who I have like a podcast with, was in that. Like I wouldn't have met him if not for that fraternity. But we both knew that this was not for us and just kind of went along with it. But at Tulane, being in a fraternity meant nothing because you just, again, you went out to bars and drank wherever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I had my like reservations about it. You know, I went to a really small school and I was like, man, I don't think I should. And then a couple, I forget what it is, a couple of fraternities offered me, you know, or whatever it is to
a bid. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like in the mailbox at the, you know, student center. And I didn't do it, but I remember felt frat-like that on the freshman hall, there was a real fucking lunatic in one of the dorms. And he had a very passive roommate. And this dude was a fucking real crazy person. So you would hear death metal, like loud as fuck coming out of this room. And you go down there and you're like, hey, what's up? And it's like, it could be like 11 o'clock at night and it's full blast. And you're like, what's going on? And his roommate is sleeping. And I'm like, how is he asleep? I mean, full blast. And he was like, it's my fucking room, you know? I was like, whew. He goes, you want to see some shit? And I'm like, yeah, okay. He goes, check this out. And he put on brass knuckles. I swear to God. And he goes, watch this. And full over the top punches that dude in the ass cheek. And you just see a guy who's completely, just go, like he would wake up. And I would sit there and laugh so hard, but I'd be like, you're a fucking monster, man. Oh. He would do shit like that. Felt like a fraternity. Oh. He would do horribly abusive shit to him.
My freshman year, I'm so excited to go to Tulane. I'm so excited. I had never seen New Orleans before I went down for my first day of school.
Yeah.
But I'm so pumped. And I get there, and my roommate is a Navy ROTC kid. He's got the shaved head. His room is immaculate. He's shining his shoes all the time. He wakes up at 5 a.m. every day, goes to bed at like 11. And I was a nightmare. I was like a total nightmare to be a roommate with because I was going out drinking all night, coming home at 6 a.m, like just like snoring all day. My room inside the room was trashed. Never did laundry. And I found out later on that when you fill out your roommate forms, and you're like, what kind of person are you? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, are you messy or clean? I put like, I was honest about who I was. I'm a future comedian. This is how I act.
You really did?
Yeah. And my dad, before he mailed it in, looked at it and was like, not my son. And made everything like a 1, which is how I got signed up with the ROTC kid. And after I found out years later, and I was like, Dad, you ruined his life.
Yeah.
Like I still just did whatever I was going to do.
Right.
But that kid, I mean, he could have made friends and like had a real social life at school.
Yeah.
Like you were awful to both of us.
I mean, having somebody set you up with the wrong roommate is a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
I had like a real weird, like rich kid freshman year, who would spend, he saw like how I lived, and he was like, I don't want to really spend a lot of time in here.
Yeah.
he would leave for long weekends, which was great. And then we had bunk beds in the freshman dorms, and I would let people sleep in his bed, which is so disrespectful. And then he would get back and he would be like, did someone sleep in my bed? And I'd be like, no. And he's like, there's long black hairs in my bed. And I was like, I don't know, man.
The housekeeper, probably. I used to put on my roommate's Navy uniform and walk around when he was out of town for the weekend.
Really?
And someone's like, you will get arrested. You will get thrown into jail for wearing a Navy uniform that's not yours. Do not do that. And I was like, okay. All right. Thanks for letting me know.
And you'd wear that around town?
I would just wear it around campus, like thinking it was funny.
Holy shit.
Thank God. Like if any of the Navy kids saw me, they would have just beaten the shit out of me on the spot. But
really?
I would just like wear it around the quad thinking it was like, hey, check it out.
Is it like the whites? Or
it was like a navy blue, over, but it was clearly a Navy uniform.
How did you get it?
It was in my roommate's. My roommate was Navy ROTC.
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And then you guys are you guys? Is this the one you're friends with now or no?
No. After freshman year, he was like, "Do you want to live together again?" I was like, "You're out of your mind. I'm going off and getting a house." And like I've lived with that guy. That guy's my best friend now.
Okay.
We lived together in like 5 different places.
Bert and Tom, Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call 2 bears, 1 cave.